actually in Q3 of this year, there's more domestic and Latin America Caribbean flights than there were in Q3 of 2019.
Wow.
And the good news is all those big, nice planes that used to go to Asia.
Hey, Maj, let me know when media are all on and in, and we can start.
It looks like everyone is good to go, muted, and cameras are off. So let me.
Are you going to start to record?
Yep, I'm going to go live in just a second. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
All right, we are live. You're ready to go.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the quick response to the call for a press conference this morning. We are going to be talking a little bit about Johnson & Johnson. You might know that the FDA is going to have some announcement at 10 o'clock about Johnson & Johnson. So we'll be keeping this short to make sure that we can get to that announcement as well. Just for everybody to understand that at this point in time, the governor has asked us to postpone the use of Johnson & Johnson at any of our clinics, which we have done. We have a clinic today starting at noon. If you are scheduled for the Johnson & Johnson and you want to come out and get vaccinated, we're going to have the Moderna product there. And that's going to be replacing the Johnson & Johnson. Our schedule is noon today, so that's when we're starting. So again, if you still want to be vaccinated, which I encourage everybody to do, it will not be the Johnson & Johnson product. It will be the Moderna product. Remember, you're going to have to return May 11th for that second dose. But again, please, if you want to get vaccinated, the Moderna product is an excellent product as well. We also then will have Pfizer to be able to offer the community. So we do have vaccine available for everybody who wants it this weekend and in the coming weeks. Please note, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with Johnson & Johnson. Again, that announcement is going to be at 10 o'clock today. We do know that there has been some possible adverse reactions, possibly significant ones. But again, that needs to be fleshed out. And again, this is what happens when we're actually utilizing any drug product that out of abundance of caution, even if it appears that there might be a connection, or may not be a connection as significant as we would like, they're going to go ahead and pause the use of them. So with that said, I'd like to open up for questions.
Amy, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like to ask your question.
Hi, can you talk to me about if we've had any reactions at the rec center resulting in someone having to go to the emergency room that we know of?
We've had actually one individual that had to go ahead and be transported to the emergency room for an adverse reaction that was significant. We've had reactions all along of individuals fainting, maybe having some lightheadedness. So we've had those, and that was being kind of reported across the board in Ohio for the Johnson & Johnson clinic, but also for some of the Pfizer Moderna.
And this vaccine, this reaction, things are clotting, clotting seems to be the issue. Can you explain for anyone who's already gotten the vaccine, what time frame they can look for this for?
Yeah, again, I don't have enough of that research in front of me. I have the anecdotal things that we've read in the newspaper. I think 7 to 14 days were the reports. I would suggest that we all kind of pay attention to the FDA announcement at 10 today to get more information. Again, this kind of just came at us pretty quick this morning, so we've had to maneuver our clinics and come up to speed. But again, CDC will probably be able to give us a little bit more detail on that.
Kaitlin, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Eric. So
Yeah.
we just talked last week about the homebound vaccination program, which you
Yes.
said you were using the Johnson & Johnson because it's only a single dose. Are they going to be waiting now until, for a new vaccine? Or are you going to start with the Pfizer and Moderna? How's that going to work for homebound residents?
Well, again, Kaitlin, we're definitely not going to be using the Johnson & Johnson product at this point in time until we're given the clear go-ahead to make sure that we can use that again. So I'm going to be reaching back around to the providers that are helping us do those homebound vaccinations and find out how we can, again, get those individuals vaccinated with the vaccines that we have currently, which again, will be a 2-dose series.
Sophia, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, so obviously I know you're waiting for more information to come out at 10, but if it does, come out that this needs to be pulled entirely, what is this going to look like for the future of our county in regards to our rising COVID cases?
That is a really good question. We've had a goodly amount of J&J in the community over the last couple of weeks, but we've had significantly more Pfizer, Moderna given in our community. And again, we know that those vaccines have not had any issues that maybe even Johnson & Johnson might have. We've had really no bad adverse reactions with Moderna, Pfizer. So we know that those vaccines are still going to be available. So we'll be utilizing those. And then, when I do believe that when Johnson & Johnson comes back online, we'll have that. But you're 100% right. That does kind of significantly reduce the ability for us to get vaccines out faster because that Johnson & Johnson is a single dose. And again, there's a lot more that goes into the Moderna Pfizer because you've got to come back and get that second, a lot more resources and things that we have to do. But we're going to make that happen for the community because again, we do need to get these vaccines out because we do see that they are working to again protect us from the current variants that are circulating, and we know too that again those vaccines seem to be working with other variants as well.
Mike has a question. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, Mike.
Thank you for taking my question. What about those people who received the Johnson & Johnson like my son did 2 weeks ago? Is that an issue, coming a few weeks out after getting a shot?
Again, the issue is to make sure that, you're knowing what your body is saying. Anytime you take any type of medication, even medication you've been taking for a while, that you could start having a reaction of some sort from taking that medication. So you should be watching yourself for any adverse signs and calling your doctor to again have that conversation with them to see if it is something that needs to be looked at and or if it is significant to go ahead and again present to the emergency room. But again, we're not seeing thousands of individuals at this point in time being adversely affected by Johnson & Johnson. I think there was 6 individuals that were adversely affected. So again, that is significant because one did pass away and the other one's having some issue and another one's having some significant issues. But we need to make sure that we're watching ourselves after we take any type of medication, especially with the vaccine.
Kaitlin, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Eric, do you have an estimate for how many Johnson & Johnson doses we've already received that are on hold right now?
I think we're around, I can get to that number, Kaitlin, but I think we're around 5,000 that are still waiting to be administered, but I can get that exact number for you. It's around 5,000 though.
It looks like Kaitlin has a follow-up question. No? Sophia, you can unmute yourself.
Caitlin, you got something? Or I'm sorry.
No, Sophia can
I'm
unmute
taken
yourself.
care of. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't want to undermine anyone getting sick or dying from this vaccine. I think you said 8 people have had, or 6 people have had.
6, I do believe it's 6. Again, coming at you kind of quick with information. I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. But is that enough to ask the whole country to pause this vaccine distribution?
Sophia, I think it is, because again, this is the way that we operate in this country, is that, you know, we're constantly tracking. Let's look at the vaccination process. We're constantly tracking what's going on. We have to report any adverse reactions, and then that's being studied. The reason why there's a postponement is because, again, this country does this out of an abundance of caution. Something's happening which we don't really quite understand. Is there a connection? Is not a connection? Again, there, as at this point in time, we understand there is no real connection that they can find between the Johnson & Johnson and that adverse reaction, but there could be. So out of abundance of caution, what we do is we'll put this on hold. We'll come back and say, yes, it is safe. Or, you know, again, if it's not, then we'll deal with that as it comes at us. But that's the way we operate. And I think we should all be pretty safe and secure in the fact that, you know, again, we are making sure that any vaccine, any drug that's out there is safe for us to, to be administered or to take. That includes the vaccines and other drugs that we've had on the market for a while. I mean, you've seen how that works.
Amy, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
How soon, I guess, could we possibly see this vaccine come back?
You know, if I remember correctly, over in Europe, I think it was a couple of days after they looked at the epidemiology behind some causative issues that they were having with AstraZeneca. Again, I don't know. That's why it's so important for us to listen to the FDA at 10 o'clock. I know my staff here are going to make sure that we're on that and to figure out, you know, what is the plan of attack that we can do locally, but we're going to be listening for state guidance as well too.
It doesn't look like there are any more questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this morning. Again, that was very quick. A lot of information that we probably don't have quite yet. Please listen to the 10 o'clock announcement from FDA, and we will definitely make sure that we keep you guys informed of what's happening. Again, good morning and thanks again.